Salvian do not wait long after his return from Hunland to Ravenna. It is not even a week that Galla Placidia invites him to the imperial palace. The letter of Oros, the regent pronounces, Rois, and of Attila makes it possible to hope that the Huns, at least during the next few years, consider to keep with us good relations. What do you think? Attila, who is in charge of the relations with the Roman and Germanic world, thinks that the Romans were right to follow the will of Augustus, who recommended him to stop on the Rhine and the Danube. King Oros and himself are mainly concerned with the consolidation of the Huns and other barbarian peoples from the Danube to the Ural by the creation of the Pax Hunna over these immense spaces. The regent looks at him attentively. Orestes says that Attila dreams of the creation of the Pax hunna-romana, and considers that this is the only possibility of having a stable peace from Spain to the Urals. He is passionate about this idea and asks me permission to leave for Hunland with his family. This Attila is very intelligent and charismatic. Salvian is not surprised. He told me that Attila invites him to become his counselor. It seems to me that Orestes is sincere in his desire to help Attila build a Pax hunna-romana and thus save the Roman civilization. Placidia reflects a little and says, "These ideas of Attila do not astonish me." The king Goths Athaulf. Salvian listens attentively because the regent speaks of her first husband whom she married after being captured by the Goths in order to save the empire. The regent continues after a pause. Athaulf, after the victories in Italy, had the vertigo of his successes. He began to dream of replacing the Romans by the Visigoths as a dominant nation in our empire, that is. He was thinking of the Pax Gothica, on the territory of the Roman Empire of the West. But after our discussions, he realized that the Goths were not accustomed to respect the laws and were not enough in number. This is why he began to think of the Pax Gotico-romana, and decided to leave Italy with his Visigoths. Salvian remarks, "The Huns are the heirs of an ancient imperial tradition. They are quite numerous and occupy immense territories. In the past, the Huns could mobilize an army of 400,000 horsemen against China. It is not impossible that they can do it again today if their appeal is heard far enough, down to deep Asia. They have also among their vassals the Germanic and several other tribes." Placidia interrupts him abruptly. "Do not you think that this idea of the Pax hunna-romana can actually conceal the intention of Attila to create with his friend Aetius a new Roman Hunnic empire? What have you learned about their relationships and plans?" The officer drinks fruit juice in a glass brought by a young slave. "Attila admires your decision to come in 410 in besieged Rome to support its defenders. He expressed the hope that you would elevate Valentinian into a good emperor, courageous and upright, worthy of his father Constantius." The regent smiles. "Orestes told me so too." Salvian continues with conviction, "It seems to me that Attila is a religious man, who believes in a unique and all-powerful God, who is accustomed to submit to the code Hun of modern Khan, well acquainted with the Roman laws and customs. King Oros is a peaceful and honest ruler who devoted his life to the rebirth and consolidation of the unity of the Western Huns. I think that they will seek an alliance only with the legitimate sovereigns of the Roman empires. But of course, for Attila, it would be nice to see Aetius commander-in-chief of the Roman armies." Again, Placidia interrupts him abruptly, "But it would be unpleasant for me because then we would be the puppets of the Huns." Orestes says that Aetius has taken a solemn oath of fidelity to the Huns. Salvian recounts what he learned most interesting about the relations of Attila and Aetius. The regent listened without interrupting his. When Salvian finishes his narrative, Placidia, visibly satisfied, says to him, "I'm happy with your analysis. Everything you say confirms my opinion of the power of the Huns and the ambitions of Attila and Aetius. I prefer the alliance with the Visigoths, who are less strong. For in this case the Romans will remain the dominant nation. However, it is good that Attila was educated in Rome and we do not have problems with the Huns until now. We must continue to observe the development of relations between Aetius and Attila in order to avoid unpleasant surprises. I am sending you to Gaul with the mission of observing the relations between our barbarian mercenaries, our allies and the population, and informing the central government of the problems that arise with your recommendations. It is natural for you, after your trip to Hunland, to be in charge of this mission. Count Aetius will not be sincere with you. Try to gain the friendship of Mark and the other officers of his entourage." Placidia smiles. "I authorize you to criticize me sometimes to gain their confidence. Never say that you are in kinship with the emperor." Then she frowns. "Aetius has warned me that Count Boniface is preparing an insurrection in Africa. I did not believe it then because Boniface was the only general who did not take the oath to John. Overthrown only through the intervention of the Eastern Roman Empire. But now he does not actually obey my order to come for explanations." She gets up and speaks in a warm voice. "That's why I appreciate so many faithful people. I believe you fully deserve my trust and never betray Valentinian and myself. Hopefully you will have a bright future."